added an element of uncertainty for the Kangaroo semi-final. In the books, this looks routine as Fiji make the semi against Oz for the third World Cup in a row.
There you go.
That is a remarkable thing that this Fiji side have done. They don't play enough games in between World Cups to have good world rankings, and they tend to have just beaten the crapper teams that they come up against. But this is
a genuine sign.
A move away from
Fiji
that.
Team,
this isn't beating lesser opposition. This is beating a top side. And what we were so impressed with Fiji by in the group stages was how many tries they were scoring, and how many flair kind of little flick passes from Milne that were working out for on the right hand side, and how much just Uarte's footwork was creating havoc on the left hand side. But you were thinking a couple of the players are not very well experienced at the top grade level. Will they be caught out? A couple of players are playing slightly out of position. Will they get caught out defensively? Moreover, and they were just so defensively sound, and it was led by the forwards. And again, the two forwards that really stood up in this game, like the most, aren't forwards who are regularly playing at the top level in the last year. I mean, Sims played in Super League, but played in a poor side, didn't play particularly great, and played in the qualifiers for the end of the season. And Vuna Kessie, I mean, is he still at the Roosters? Does he play? Does he get a first grade gig often? Because I don't remember seeing him too many times in the first grade recently. And they were both absolutely outstanding. And the one time I thought the game was going to slip away from them was when they went off. But the New Zealand halves couldn't click, couldn't create, just couldn't work anything out. Tuivasa-Sheck was just, it just made. You expect maybe a mistake out of a top level guy like him, but he just made too many mistakes in this game that put his side under too much pressure. New Zealand kept putting themselves under pressure. Fiji didn't quite have the cutting edge to score tries on a great New Zealand line, but you'd have thought they'd have scored some more penalty goals. They had the penalty. Yeah. They had the penalties to do it. I mean, you know, the Kiwis conceded 8 penalties, and I would say more than 2 of them were kickable. Yeah. And Fiji maybe thought with all the positional territorial dominance that they had, maybe it'd work out for them. But
it's astounding, isn't it?
Yeah.
And congratulations to Fiji, deservedly into the semis.
They were by far the best team in this game. Their backs returned the ball from their end way better, made mistakes way less frequently. Their forwards were way more physical, way more imposing. No one on the New Zealand side other than Isaac Liu, who got forced into action in the second row when Joseph Tapine went off injured. Yeah. That was a mitigating factor. Watene Zelezniak was hobbling around for almost the entire game, and Tapine was done and still tried to play on for a too significant amount of the game. But what can you say?
Oh, fair play, and I'm looking forward to watching the semi-final and cheering the Fijians on.
I mean, there was so many great performances in the pack. Another one of the players I've picked out in my sort of people to watch is Viliami Kikau. I was mentioning, and he made 113 metres, and Tui Kami Kamika, he comes and goes. He got 116 metres. So there were other players in that pack backing up those 2 main starters. Yeah. But when they were off the field, I thought there might have been an opening for New Zealand, but they could never take advantage of it.
Very good. Okay. Final quarter-final then, Mark. England taking on Papua New Guinea. It finished 36 points to 6 in favour of the Wall of White. McGillivray with his standard 2. Walmsley, Curry, 2 for Watkins and Ryan Hall. The consolation try for Papua New Guinea coming from next season's top Super League try scorer, Gary Lowe.
Now, this is the game that we definitely remember for England.
Yes.
Did you get up and watch it?
I did. Well, I watched it in the morning. I didn't get up and watch it. I made plans to. I got downstairs about 6:30.
So my alarm went off at 4:30.
Yeah.
I was way too pissed still from the night before to contemplate waking up. So I went back to sleep and watched it about about 9 o'clock.
This game went the way I expected it would. I thought
Shall we do the...
Oh, yeah, we've got the feedback, haven't we? Yeah, go ahead.
Brian Davies said, very, very hot sat in the blazing afternoon sun for this one. A real stop-start performance with the list of errors coming from the experienced forwards. Gaz Widdop and Super Kev Brown took a real hammering. Losing Kev at half-time was a real shame, as we still don't know if he can play for the full 80. Probably Locker's worst England game for a while, but he was by no means alone, still optimistic for the next 2 games.
Neil McKeown said England will get past Tonga on this performance, as Tonga looked like the New Zealand match was their final. However, the Aussie lads will be on the beach supping cocktails as there's no competition. Was good watching Kev Judas Brown get a good whack, ha 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 ha, the prick.
Langers said, job done, cut out the errors and the dream will go on for another week. Not looking forward to an early start on Saturday, but England are beginning to gel and consistency will get us to the final.
Brendan Loftus said England were okay, our right side is looking pretty good but the left isn't. Great player that Bateman is, he's playing a role that isn't natural for him and it showed. The bench did well and Roby showed that he's the form 9 for England. It might have been a different game played in Papua New Guinea, but that's for another day. Glad we have yet to play at our best, although to beat Tonga England will have to get near to their best.
Rich Wilkinson said, let me start by saying the Aussie media have said that we don't have enough to beat Tonga. The panel all had screwed up faces with lots of shoulder shrugging. England aren't good enough to make the final, in quote marks. Of course, look how Tonga cruised past the might of Lebanon.
Exactly.
I love living in Australia. The biggest problem is it's full of Aussies.
Yeah,
it wasn't so much a game review as a dig, was it?
I suspect that's true, though. Yeah, I did. I got up relatively early to watch this one. It went exactly the way I anticipated it would, to be honest. I was hoping that we would string together a stronger performance, but I thought we would have an attritional start and eventually we would have that cutting edge to get into a decent enough lead, which is exactly what we did. And Papua New Guinea, for all their hard work and for their toughness, didn't have that extra bit of verve in the halves, in their ends of sets and things like that. We compounded the scoreline. We kept the scoreline down through our own errors and fuck-ups, essentially.
90
and there were far too many.
In the game.
We completed
56%
terribly.
completion rate.
We completed terribly low, and against another team, if we play like this against the Tongans and we complete at 56%, we'll be going home. It's as simple as that. But we did enough to get the win. Now, there are some positives. I think the performance in the first half anyway, of the 6, 7 and 1 continues to be the way we should go. I think Widdop at full-back with Gale and Brown in the halves has proven itself now to be our most fruitful combination. I don't have the level of vitriol that some people have reserved for Josh Hodgson, but I do think that James Roby should be playing 80 minutes at hooker. I think at times his distribution Josh Hodgson's distribution isn't great at times. He doesn't play the ball off the floor as well, and I think he tries to win the game on his own sometimes as well. Whereas Roby's got that innate vision that we have raved about for 4 years on the Super League pod, and he's definitely the form hooker for me. It was a shuffled squad a little bit. There was some bits and pieces going on in there. Overall we did enough, but there's definitely things to fix up.
Well, it was just the errors, because I think in some ways we played our best game and our worst game at the same time in this tournament.
Yeah.
Because we made a ton of meters. A lot of people seemed like they were clicking. I know we made a ton of meters, but Jermaine McGilvery made like almost half of them, it felt like.
Yeah, good old Jermaine.
But he was absolutely outstanding. But all 4 of the 3 quarters made 100 metres or more, including John out of place Bateman. He's not exactly creating enough. It doesn't feel like he's creating enough for his winger.
That's the problem. Everything else he's doing fine.
I think he's addressed the problem we saw in the first game of his defensive technique close to his own line, because I think he has been much more going with the winger and going in and going out fast and not hovering back.
Yeah.
So I think he's addressed that problem, and I don't think he's done anything else wrong.
No, I don't.
It's just his hands sometimes don't work quick enough. But so
he doesn't seem to be naturally looking left when he's got the ball in hand when we're moving forward.
Yeah,
that's the thing. But other than that,
I thought Callum Watkins was brilliant as well in this game. That combination with Watkins and McGilvery,
that's damaging.
That's been working so well. The Watkins try, the long range Watkins try where McGilvery made the break and then Watkins was there supporting. That was absolutely brilliant.
Yeah.
And the Watkins pass to McGilvery for his tight finish in the corner. similarly stunning. Obviously, wasn't tested out too much defensively in this game from a England point of view. The try that we did concede was conceded on the 60th minute, so not in the last 10 minutes of a half, but it was conceded at a point where we pretty much just at that point completely wrapped up the game with Curry's try, and now that was a great piece of skill from Gareth Widdop. And Widdop was okay in this game. That was the only time he was really great in attack. I thought he was okay in attack in other places, but not much greater than just okay. I really liked the setup for McGilvery's first try when they swapped Watkins and Whitehead's positioning round. So Whitehead almost ran a dummy run in front of Watkins. That was really good because it worked well off the passing of the O'Loughlin, Brown, Widdop. All those people can pass the ball really well close to a line. So I really liked that try. I thought Burgess came back and did really well. He played more minutes than I was expecting him to. In the second half, it got a bit messy with the interchanges and stuff, and Burgess ended up playing all the way across the field, Sam Burgess, and stuff like that. But so I think that is part of why the score was kept down, if I'm completely honest. Yeah. But when PNG were knackered, we put tries on in the end of the game, which we failed to do against France and against Lebanon. We didn't finish those games well. This game we did finish well in terms of try scoring. So that shows like all those meters that were made by McGilvery, but also where's my little thing gone? Also, James Graham made 146 metres, Sam Burgess made 111 metres, Alex Walms made 141 metres. So the big men were also punching holes and wearing people out during the game. Graham's been brilliant in the tournament. I liked the way this side was laid out, to be honest. I would have probably thought about bringing Roby on a little bit earlier if we needed that to happen. But we were controlling this game. It wasn't like we were trying to jump out of it too fast. We were controlling this game other than making a load of errors. But hey, PNG made 13 errors and completed at 61%. That wasn't much better than us. We defended really strongly, barely missed, didn't miss a lot of tackles. Didn't really cause a problem. There was that disallowed try, wasn't there, just before the half time? Oh yeah, which might have made it feel different. It might have gone from a feeling of control at half time to PNG were in it, but it was a blatant push by Artio. I couldn't see any way, and I'm not even sure he got it down in the field of play. I'm not sure it wasn't on the line, but I don't know. There you go.
Anyway, it does mean that we advance into the semis. No, I think you've covered it off beautifully there, actually. Yeah, well done. So before we advance into talking about the semis, Mark, we've got some results from the Women's World Cup, which kicked off last Thursday. I'll run you through the results and you can do the feedback that we got on some of the England games, and then we'll talk about how things are looking in that competition. So it started on the Thursday. All these games have been played as triple headers at different stadiums as well, which I think is a great idea.
No, the same stadium. They've all been at
Cronulla.
Reclaim Australia Stadium, haven't
they? Okay. Starting on the Thursday, New Zealand were 50 points to 4 winners over Canada. Australia then took to the field and were 58 points to 4 winners over the Cook Islands. And then England got a victory over the Papua New Guineans, 36 points to 8.
Yeah, Brian Davies said, thought we looked a real team in this. Great shape and structure. We moved the ball about well and I was impressed. Had to watch this one online as it wasn't shown on live TV in Oz. It was a tea time, and so this third game clashed with Countdown or something, so it was moved to 7-May app. It's a much more flowing game than the men's, and with more team in the Women's Super League in 2018, the quality will only improve. Yeah, and note on a couple of things there. Yeah, Brian, we only got to watch it through the R League app, and that was staggery and stuttery and buffering as fuck, and I couldn't even watch it.
There you go.
It was too broken up for me to be able to watch it, which was really frustrating because I was looking forward to watching it. And Women's Super League, St Helens are going to have a team now as well. They've basically taken over the senior of the Fire Heath ladies side, which has been an incredible ladies side, up alongside the Bulls. That's the best around for the last few years. So if they can keep their development pathways going on like they're looking to, and they can get a good mix in that senior St Helens version of the side, that's another strong bow. String to the bow of the Women's Super League. And Wigan had their Women's Super League launch, which was a big occasion. They made a lot of